welcome to beautiful Barbados. In this documentary series, we take a look at some of the history on tourism entertainment in Barbados. We highlight the trade of tourism entertainment and the value it holds in sustaining our tourism sector. How do you see the powers that be regard tourism entertainment?
I remember, in relation to the question, when we started entertainment many years ago, 50 years ago, to me, the government and the people who was in charge, they were more connected to the artists in a different kind of way. You would see them at the hotels, you would see them at the Caribbean Pepper, you would see them. You don't see the same thing now, right? And there was a little comfort in that. Although we didn't used to get treated the way we really should be treated, but still there's a little comfort to see that the people who's in charge, ministers would come and see what's going on with the shows and hotels and stuff like that. However, I found over the years, and I've been saying this all the time, for the last 25 years I've been back in Barbados, and I can't recall a time when a minister of tourism would speak about airlifts, they would speak about the hotel, the food, everything, but I can't ever remember hearing of either parties saying, well, you know something, the entertainers, the musicians, the dancers, the hotels, when you open up, just make sure you hire them and give them work. I have never heard a minister say that. And that always freaked me out, because as an artist and as a musician, I was in hotels from the time I started as an artist. That's what we used to do, playing all the hotels all over Barbados. And, that's your livelihood. You know what I mean? You have people like yourself who perform in hotels, Desmond, my friend here, Cheryl, and many other great artists and musicians who used to make their living from really the hotels. We had the YMPC, the Drill Hall, Marine House, and all these places where the big bands used to play, like Blue Combo and Troubadours and Tropical Islanders and Fantastics and stuff like that. It used to happen. So those days were joyful in a way, more joyful than now. I don't know if that's the reason why they don't talk about it, but to me, the powers that be, if you're going to talk about tourism, you're going to talk about bringing people to this country, you can't just bring them here and they just sit on the beach or drink a rum and coke or something like that. Entertainment is a vital part of enjoyment. People feel happy when you entertain them, if you crack a joke, if you, it stimulates them.
Yes.
The food is good too. We want good food, we want good wine.
Yes.
And then we want to go to the beach and stuff like that. The beach is there. But entertainment, to me, was always important in the olden days when we first started. They didn't used to go in a hotel without entertainment.
Right.
No, they don't care. But they had to have it, especially a limbo show. Almost every hotel on the island used to have shows.
Absolutely.
And the limbo was the last act.
Right now, in Barbados, I would say, but to sum it up, I think over the years the entertainer has gone from hero to zero regarding the respect for from the people in authority. Like, for example, I think years ago, many years ago, when I first started, 70s, it was a huge difference. I think the entertainer at the time, musician, limbo dancer, fry eater, whatever, was accorded a great amount of respect. We had in the very early days a vibrant recording industry. Almost every week new songs coming out. We had a certain amount of respect from the hoteliers and from the hotels. The bands could work. You're given drinks. You come in. You had the rooms to change. Okay. Now through the years, though, I think a lot of that just went by the wayside
Yeah.
because
No
I
more
don't-
rooms for sure. No more rooms to change.
well, no, of
Yeah.
course, but I've gone through Ella's long
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
I've
long
gone
time,
through Ella's
yeah.
long time.
Yeah. Bathrooms. if
Bathrooms
anything.
now, yeah. But I think nowadays mostly people come already
Dress, pretty
dressed to the
much.
stage,
Yes.
yeah, as opposed to. In fact, in most cases, you don't even think about asking for a room. In fact, some don't even dare ask for a room.
That's the second part there. Dare ask for
You don't
room
dare ask for
because you may not get booked
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think when you look even at the BHTA awards, right, which used to be a big thing over the last, well, let's say 20, 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainers used to be an integral part of the whole thing.
Is
You
that
know?
still ongoing? The
Yeah,
awards?
yeah, you still
Okay.
get awards, but
Okay.
at no point you see entertainment or entertainers mentioned. You know, you used to have the band of the year, the entertainer of the year.
Yeah.
Used to be an integral part of the whole evening. You know, but nowadays, nah, they don't even mention it.
So Cheryl, I want you to jump in here and tell me how you see the powers that be, how they regard tourism and entertainment as a female pioneer in a sense. And I know that you've done excellent work here. Sorry, I'm not a big shit because she's a female, right? But you know, but I mean, it's like I feel really great to be in all of your company today, and each of you means something to me in different ways that y'all
Thank
may
you.
not even understand.
Appreciate that.
You know, so I know the level of work as a female coming through the whole ranks of entertainment. And back in the day now, like, how were you treated? You know, like, what were you treated differently?
Well, Cheryl Grissette's here. Nice to be here. Being in a hotel for almost 34 years now, right? The standard of the treatment hasn't gone anywhere. There's still some hotels where you have to go to the bathroom to change.
Wow.
The pay is basically the same thing as 30 years ago. And that is through the fault of some of the entertainers themselves.
Absolutely.
Because if you go and charge 5 cents, they come and they go and charge 2 cents. Right? And the hotels don't want quality now. They want
Cheapest rate.
cheapest rate. And to me, the government has not done anything for dancers really in Barbados. Right? They want to showcase Barbados, they take a ban. Don't even play in the hotels. Right? Then the dancers, people come here, they see the dancing, they want to know what's going on. I remember I saw an app on television, a limbo app on television. It wasn't even, no Bajans, but they were representing Barbados.
Wow.
You understand me? And they have the #1 in the Caribbean here, probably the world.
Yeah.
And they had English or whatever representing Barbados.
No.
You understand? So to me, we need to come together as a team and try to push our wants and our needs so the government can do something for us. Because even at this COVID time, nothing has been done for the entertainers. And if they're supposed to give you something, but you work, and when you do collect, it's not even a quarter of what you're supposed to get.
Right.
So to me, they haven't done anything.
I look at it as, like, years ago when I started, the hotel managers, a lot of them understood the importance of entertainment in the hotel industry, right? But what we have to do, I heard a lot of people often talk about respect and so on.
Yes.
But I think that we must make people respect us.
Correct.
First of all, we got to see ourselves as selling a product. You understand? A lot of us just going to the hotels and say, I want to go and perform. but they don't understand how important our products are. Whether you're a dancer, a singer, or anything like that, you don't understand how we kept tourists coming back to the island. Entertainers are the persons who kept tourists coming back to the island. I mean, it is like the service, yes, which is the waiters and so on. But then these tourists come down to Barbados, and even though sometimes the hotel manager might see you as anything, some of these tourists that come to Barbados see you as Michael Jackson or the Platters or one of those, you know what I mean? They're how they see us. So we have to gain respect for ourselves.
Absolutely.
And the hotel sector, they have to know that entertainment can be a boost for the economy of Barbados. This is serious, you know, the economy of Barbados. You know, because when we perform out there, we keep tourists coming in. Then a lot of the entertainers, like Cheryl will tell you and Brown will tell you, when we finish play at night, these tourists want to go all over the place. Sometimes they go with us in Baxter's Road.
Right.
You know, when
Yes.
Baxter's Road
Was Baxter's
was
Road.
Baxter's Road. Now they go to Oyston.
Yes.
You know, you take them to the villages and so on, and they will spend money there. You know, and we have to think not only for the sea on the shore, but we got to think that inland where we can take a tourist at Ruby there in our Carno village, and they spend some money with Ruby. You understand?
Yes.
So the way how I see it is that we, the entertainer, have to understand how important we are. And we have a product. The only thing you don't take our products off of the shelf in a supermarket, but we have a product.
Yes.
We are selling emotions. You understand? We are selling emotions. When tourists come here for peace and rest. And this is another thing too. You have to know who would buy your product and who would use your product. Because sometimes you go in a hotel and you can't play a fast show over certain decibels. You understand? You might. You understand?
Yes.
I go to the hotel sometimes, and even Sundays you got the amplifiers off,
Right.
and still they complain.
Yes.
But some tourists come here thinking that you don't hear even a mosquito in Barbados. You don't even hear a cricket. So they want peace and quiet.
Right.
So we can sell our products where we can sell that type of music, and we have to know how important that this music is, the music and the entertainment field in
packages,
Barbados.
yes, yeah.
Definitely.
How important is entertainment in the tourism industry?
People come from all over the world looking forward to see particular entertainers at particular spots. I've known people come from one hotel to the next to see where I am, and actually bring the whole family. You're going to be here next week, come back next week. You know, one from off the south coast to the west coast to hear me play. You know, and it's very important because we got a couple who comes to Mango Bay right now. I'm going to call a hotel name. They come here every year for the last 22 years. And when the first question, which night is Charlie playing? That means a lot for entertainment, you know, because, and then they look out for certain people. We become like part of their vocation. They look forward to that. Of course, the guests, the staff too. But, you know, the entertainment, because you play the type of songs that they like. They like waltzing, they like you know, the little swing and that kind of thing. And that's the idea. And I suppose that they will get that happening to other bands too. That play, because music is a very, you know, music, everybody has their own choice of music. Music is something that, you know, that different people like different genres, different. All right, so I suppose that happens with the other bands too. Some of the younger bands, people come to hear them too, you know.
Right.
So music is very, very important in the hotels. Could you imagine a world without music? You know, could you imagine a world without music? Could you imagine any place without music? It's like a dead thing. Without music, I can't exist without music. Music, I sleep with my guitar. I tell your wife, excuse me, you go over there in the next bed and I sleep with my guitar at night. I can take a picture down, I won't see. You understand me? The style that they play, you got to practice hard. You know? Right. Then for somebody to come and gauge your work, to tell you deserve this, and counting the members of my band and body playing and dividing it down to see how we get overpaid or not.
Yeah, I know, and I know.
It's
sad.
Horrifying.
How important is entertainment to the tourism industry? Because it is my intention that we educate the public and the powers that be, that I believe have lost their way in supporting what I believe to be a very important sector on this island.
Well, okay. Put it this way, right? Visitors come to the island and during the day they do the shopping, they go to the beach, they enjoy the afternoon or evening cocktails, and at night what do they do? Must be entertainment.
Right.
Extremely important, but for me, it don't seem so to the as though the hoteliers or the powers that be take it seriously, you know.
I wanted to jump in every sense, but but I have to respect these. But if you want to ask me how important it is for entertainment in Barbados, I think when I first started out, I didn't have much schooling, so I don't want to go into the big thing, but we was told that sugarcane was our main industry in Barbados, and then we saw that came actually to an end, and tourism had taken place to become the most important industry on the island. And I know that tourism meant so much to Barbados that we had to put out a product in order to please that there. And having said that, music, fire eating, ball dancing, limbo, these things have impressed the visitors to the island because they weren't seeing it in their country.
Right, right.
So they come here to see it. And that tells me that entertainment in Barbados was very big, and it was the most important thing at the time.
Most
which I believe
important, I love that.
up to now.
Yes.
And what has happened, I see over the years that I was in entertainment, what I see and learn is that they didn't only see it once, they saw it and wanted to come back to see it again.
Right.
Matter of fact, people have offered to carry me away to show their friends and family
Absolutely.
how fire eating does go and how this does go and that kind of thing.
Right.
So people were coming to Barbados definitely to see entertainment. So
yes.
entertainment, you could go anywhere and buy fruits.
Yes.
You could go anywhere and watch a show, any kind of thing. But you can't go anywhere at the time to see what you could have seen in Barbados.
Yes.
It wasn't there. You could go to Trinidad, you see something similar. You may see something similar in Chile, but that was the Caribbean anyhow.
Right.
So people had to come down to see the entertainment. Entertainment
yes.
was very big
Very crucial, yeah.
in Barbados.
Right.
So, and I believe that it should have been respected. And don't ask me about how much I get paid or anything, because I never ever charge a hotel for my entertainment. I always go in and accept what they give me. And it wasn't because that I wanted to accept what they give me. I had loved my country so much that I felt that all the things I could have done, if I could do it and get one more tourist to come to Barbados, that was my main objective.
Wow.
So I go in there and I do what I have to do, and rather they give me a check and I get on home. Matter of fact, I have performed at actually all the hotels that build and break down and go on. I perform all the, and I have performed under a thing called audition, which means you're going to perform and let the people see what you can do, and you go home and hope that they will call you
Right.
and tell you we come for a job because the people like here or the people have like it. So I perform at actually all the hotels for free,
Right.
in order to get into the performing
into the industry.
business.
Yeah, I'm hearing that the owners are more involved, and and so that's very important. I for my study, that is very important.
Listen, they had a
Yeah.
place called Island Air, right? Every Monday night, so you have top show for years.
Yes.
And every Monday night, you know that place gonna be jammed. And every Monday night, you know the entertainment gonna be top of the line. But the managers are mad. If you turn, the manager say, what the dancers? What the belly dancer? They used to be freaking out if we enter them on time because we were so important to them.
Yes, because
Yeah,
they're on the same
you know,
package,
this
entertainment package.
But that's me, you know you're talking.
I know.
People used to be, one time when I was last Limbo, I had another show and I had to do a show at the Caribbean Pearl Park. Not the one in town, because they started dancing Limbo at the Caribbean Pearl Park in Nelson Street. And Jackie was the singer of the show. How long ago we talking about, right? And then the Caribbean Pearl Park moved up to Christchurch. But before the Caribbean Pearl Park, I get a little history here, move up there, they had a guy named Barrington Green who was used to sell insurance. And there was this house up there, was by the Pearl Park, started up there, right over there, right? And he came to me and said, listen, man, he's a great musician. I want to rent this place and keep some shows for the artists. And he wanted me to do dance limbo. And that's where we started. But it was that I was working with who was the old hotel, Darnie Greenwich. So when Darnie Greenwich heard I was up there performing, getting vexed, he said, my God, you're dancing no here, you're going to open another place. And he ended up buying the place. That's how the Pebble Park started at Christchurch.
Wow.
Right?
Rich
Darnie
history.
Greenwich. Right? And one time we was coming, we got to there late, and Darnie Greenwich was outside sitting down for the chair waiting. When we turned the corner, because he was on a bike, Brantley was riding, and I was on the back, I got the sticks, I hold it. When we turned, we turned our corner down, he was saying, what up, don't come here, facts, walk kill me. So the people here waiting. That is the way entertainment was in them days. It was like, it was I tell her like, it was me that was in it. I really fall off the bike, going power beat me up. And then the jump change fast, and boom. So that's the way it was in this. It was like vibes. It was good.
Like I remember the same Darnie Greenwich. Joe Tudor used to perform there every Tuesday night. And Joe Tudor always late.
Yeah.
So Darnie Greenwich would stop at the door. I'm late. So one night he asked me when Joe Tudor coming in. He said, "My Joe, let me ask you something. You want this job or what?" And Joe Tudor walked past. He said, "Give me the or what." Joe Tudor was real funny. But those were managers who were really interested in pushing the hotel.
Yeah, it was good.
You know what I mean?
People just want to show. People, listen, see, man used to do the dog in Barbados. People used to, look, when the man was at Pearl Park, the taxi drivers, right, used to go down by the harbor. And the only place they used to mention is, you going to the Pearl Park? Right?
Yes.
Everybody used to head to the Pearl Park. Taxi drivers used to make money because they,
They're sure that something's happening.
And it's from town to Christchurch, so that's a good $10 bill.
Yeah,
but you see, from those things, I was learning from those things, from those days.
Right.
And what I learned about the Merry Men is that when we wanted to sing like the Platters, we wanted to sing like Joe Texas, then the Merry Men would sing Caribbean. And that is it. The Bible will say Caribbean. And the tourists at that time, coming to hear Caribbean music.
Right.
So what
captured it.
Right. So we wanted to say like the Platters, and then we go in Broad Street and we cool it out there and everybody shouted. And sometimes people would laugh at the Merry Men singing by that, singing that. But when I say that, but the thing about it is that they were selling the island.
Yeah,
Yes, they sold that. Yeah.
They
clever,
sold the
clever.
island. You understand?
Yes.
So then there's a lot of things that we have to look and learn, you know. But then again, the Mermaid had like Kara Hunt, who is one of Barbados' biggest business person.
Yeah, the connection was there.
To
assist and structure that.
assist the structure. But we
Right.
never had.
So they always had that business
Right.
template. In
Right.
A sense.
But
We never.
Awesome.
We
But
never
don't
had.
forget, we're gonna mention this man, Brugger
Brugger Johnson.
That just died.
Right, right.
He was the Maryland manager, you know.
Yeah.
And he was a serious manager.
But what we did.
So what I'm hearing here is that the Merryman had that business template from the
Right.
beginning.
Yes, he was
But
the
we
Whereas
manager.
now
Yeah.
the
Listen,
others did
the
not have
Merman
that
was the-
business
Right.
template and support.
The Merman was the only group to me in Barbados who knew how to market themselves to tourists.
Right.
But you just, but you hear me though?
Yeah.
You hear me? They had that
Template.
business
I
template
tell you,
from
they
the
did it.
From the
beginning.
They had it from
From
the
the
beginning.
beginning.
And they,
Right.
No wonder they were so
there's-
successful.
Exactly.
Exactly. They
Listen,
had
and they
it.
used to go in the country and talk to their old men that used to be half drunk
Right.
singing and get half of the
Sweet.
words and then go finish the words.
but
and
you know-
sing them songs. They're Caribbean. Seriously.
But you know what?
They knew what it was doing. They were selling Barbados as a Caribbean place and not as a America.
Right.
Right.
America, like BRC used to play Bear Funk, but we
Bear
had
Funk.
a different
Right,
following.
right.
Right.
We had a local following,
local following.
right? But the Merman was focused on tourism,
Interesting.
and it used to work all the time for them.
But then what some of us did is that we start being innovative
Right.
because we were poor. We can buy instruments. So George there would make his own bass
Yeah,
and took it to the hotels.
yeah.
So rather you will see a bass,
George there.
It's all right, I learned
a guy
it all.
called George there. You will see a guy with a bass guitar. He made his own box bass.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Rudolph.
play walkie.
Yes, yeah, walking. Rudolph, but the tour Slavic. Rudolph would play a barrel, you know, his guitar to a
That
barrel.
was
So
good.
we had to become creative.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's how Brown came with the Limbo and Cheryl. And so these are things. And the hotel managers knew that this is indigenous entertainment that we are going to sell the tourists. You understand? And let me tell you something. It wasn't a food and beverage manager who used to be hiring the entertainers. Because I always say from the jump set is that I don't think a food and beverage manager should be hiring entertainment. I think they should have a special entertainment manager.
Right.
Right? And and it is easy because you can find one of the guys who was in entertainment for a
Yes,
good
yes,
time, who
yes.
has the knowledge to do it, and give them the job to do it.
Yes.
Rather than you come in and you're a food and beverage man, you got to study about when the drinks company bringing in
quality,
drinks,
the
the
food and
quality.
stuff.
You so tired about it now.
It's a
You
very
can't
important
even,
job, actually.
You can't even put. You don't even know how to put together a show.
Yeah.
No, they didn't know that.
It's very important.
But, you see,
Right now, entertainment is all over the world, as we know,
Yes.
and in actually every country, the entertainment is slightly different, and we got entertainers that leave Barbados. I could talk about Barbados because I live here, and travel over the world, entertaining people. So when you get that, sometimes a tourist don't have to come down here to hear because they just hear in a stadium up the road there what Barbados got to offer.
Right.
What I feel that government and the people that is in authority here in Barbados should look at the entertainment package that they have to offer the tourists, put it in a nice box and put a ribbon around it, and keep it here to sell to the tourists.
Yes.
So that when you come to Barbados, you seize Barbados.
Yes.
You don't come to Barbados and see a little bit of Canada and a little bit of England and a little bit of, you come here to see Barbados. So I think it's time enough that we package our entertainment, if we are going to allow tourism to be our main industry, package our tourism, put it in a nice box with a nice paper around it, a nice ribbon,
Yes,
and have
please.
it there to sell to the tourists.
I want to stay focused on the value as it relates to tourism entertainment, because I don't think it's clear to many people, even people who work in the same cultural industries as to the importance that we bring to the game. I genuinely, I'm past upset. I actually sat down through COVID is what brought this whole idea to my head. And I legitimately recognized, I said one day, because I was losing it mentally, I was like, it was a breakdown for me because the first in my life I'm unemployed. First in my life I can't get on a plane and go back to New York. You know, it's the first in my life I can't say, well, let me try to get a contract somewhere else, even if it's only for 6 months. So I am lost as to where, what can I do and stuff. So I'm going crazy. I'm reaching out to the powers that be, you know, to try to get information as to how are you going to be supporting entertainers who play their trade solely in the tourism industry. And up to now, there's no answer because we have been mixed in with the culture and the seasonal performers. And I think that's something that they missed. I genuinely, legitimately believe that they missed it. I refuse to remain angry because it's not channeling my energy properly. So I had to sit and say, you know something, maybe people need to be educated. So thus this documentary. And I genuinely believe that they don't understand that we pay mortgages with this or rent, car payments. Yeah, people who have kids. You have normal bills, and it is your trade. This is where you play your trade. So I think that's missing. So for this particular segment of this documentary, I want to be focused as to that, you know?
But that is exactly, that's what I was trying to explain to you. If the tourism minister,
I hear you, trust me, I heard you.
don't even mention that artists should work during COVID, but he wasn't thinking about it before. So how you gonna all of a sudden know he want
Exactly.
he didn't think about it, he was never thinking about it, he cared about it as far as he understand. An artist, he's just entertained, like if it's just a joke.
Yeah, or
But
hobby.
entertainment is not, it's
hobby.
a serious thing. It's a serious thing. You think it's going up, Sherry is a fantastic little dancer.
Of course.
You think you just go on a bar just by walking around?
Yeah.
That's a technique of this world.
The craft you have to
understand
develop.
that technique.
Yeah.
You go on a
everything to
fire
think
burning
of.
in your chest and you go in that bar. You don't have a technique. And not any politicians, Barbados, go and do that. Any one of them. Tell them come and go and tell them I'm better last bar. They can't get do. So respect. That's where the word respect comes. To come out of my
Yes,
mouth earlier.
that's fine.
But-
It's just that I want to be clear with the respect part
Right.
because I think we just use that word so loosely and people get mad when we say the word respect. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like Desmond is like
You know?
we
Have
say
your-
respect. We say, man, you don't respect me or you don't respect the arts and but what are we really trying to say? So we
You're
need to
getting
break
neglect.
it down. We need to
You're
break
getting
it. That's what I'm saying. We need to
gonna
break it
bring
down.
it forward.
Yeah.
We
We're
need
gonna
to break
bring it
down what's
forward.
respect. And
Yes.
I'm saying that from my personal experience
I
too,
agree.
in terms of dealing with some different projects I would have been on, and people get mad with me because I would say things like, what is your role? Because you need to stick to your role so that I can stick to my role.
Exactly.
And people take that to the wrong, they interpret that the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all I'm saying is that in my experience of working internationally is like, when you stick to your role and I stick to my role, we come together and something is done.
Yeah.
But when you want to do your job and my job and everybody else's job, and then that becomes a big problem, and then we need to break
We
it
gonna
down.
break it down. It gonna happen.
What are the advantages and disadvantages for the all-inclusive model versus the traditional hotel? What would you say, Lloyd?
No, I find that in the all exclusive, the hotels can find a lot more excuses to cut off some of the privileges and some of, well, you could say even the common courtesy
Common courtesy
that entertainers
should be given.
should be given.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, first of all, you can't even bring a visitor to the band unless you notify them up front.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then you got to notify them up front. Now, you can't, your visitor, wife, girlfriend, friend, whatever, can't go to the bar to buy a drink because it's all inclusive. So they sit there all night, dry, watching entertainment. Okay. If they want to drink, they got to go to the front desk and pay for a pass. A pass because it used to be $60. I think probably same thing or just gone up. So you go in, So the whole thing, the whole idea, as far as I see it, is to discourage people other than entertainers, friends, and so on. You know, now that never used to be the case with the regular hotels. In regular hotels, you can go in. Well, most of them in days gone by, you could go in. You bring your friend, your family, or whatever. You get a drink for them, right? And everything is okay. But nowadays is a completely different dispensation. Is like you don't really come, you know. You come there to do the entertainment. You probably just let the carpenter will come in during the day and do a job. You get your money. Sorry, you don't even get your money. You got work to get your money again, because you got to rush back to the hotel week after week trying to get a check that for a job you did probably a couple of weeks before, right? And that's how it is. So I think that a lot of them using, I mean, it might be more profitable for the hotel.
Right.
Yeah, but it is like it's not so good for the entertainer. Right? It's not so good. Okay, so I can see the whole thing about it. But the other thing about that too, I mean, this is even diverging a bit from the entertainer. I still think, like in most of the all-inclusive properties, most of that money, they got a quota to reach. Most of that money goes, in fact, most of the money is paid in even before the people get to Barbados. So I don't think these hotels benefit Barbados on the whole to the great extent. You know.
What about you, Charles?
The all-inclusive hotels, to me, are the cheapest properties to play at. One good thing about them that they probably would hire you all year round, because that is inclusive in their budget, in their whole idea of being all-inclusive. That's the good thing about it. As Lloyd was saying, you got to buy tickets when you bring up any friends there. You know, you had, my sister usually comes from the States every year, and when they taking her to all-inclusive hotel I playing at, we got to let to buy tickets.
The passes, the day
passes,
passes.
yeah. $60 and that kind of thing. She can't drink $60 in drinks. You know, that's not including food. That's just drinks.
Less hours get work, because you go, you know, like for instance, if you like one of the top hotels in Barbados now, they're all exclusive. They have 4 or 5 bands or 3 or 4 people in there. That's it.
That's it, yeah.
But years ago, you used to get, like, for
variety.
instance, maybe you get Desmond would come in to perform with BRC at night. You see, the managers in those days used to be in the party. They started earlier. Then there was the hotel managers would say, "Well, listen, man, next week we could do." You know, this would be involved. You don't get that now. You don't get. You know, you go and play and that's it. You don't even know who the manager is sometimes.
But quickly, on another note, I would like to say that we don't have very much new entertainers coming up. And I believe the reason for that is because that if you don't respect the older entertainers and shine them down to the other entertainers, you're not going to get much people want to do this and
I
want
agree.
that. Because the next couple of years, you're not going to have fighting in Barbados
It's
at all.
true. It is
because
true.
nobody knows anything about Cassius Clay. Nobody knows anything about Panther Brown or Next Body or that. Because you gotta hand down these people down to the generation below, so that they can say, I would like to be like that man, or I wish I could do what that man did. I saw you look at a picture here with me.
Yes.
A lot of young people doesn't even know about that picture.
Yes.
And so there's nobody gonna try it because they don't see it. If you can put a light to the older entertainers, I believe that Barbados will get a lot of younger entertainers coming up through the ranks. But you're not going to get that because you're not respecting the ones that build the ladder.
This young lady here, who is a fantastic dancer and limbo
Yes,
dancer.
I've seen her.
I just want to let you know that I was the man who was responsible
Take a bow.
for teaching
Take a
her
bow. Take
to
a bow.
dance
Take a
limbo. I
bow.
teach her
Really?
from scratch, yeah.
Oh.
So she learned from the best.
That's
One
the
of the
best.
best limbo dancers Barbados ever seen is Burt Barnaby.
I've
I'm
heard
showing
that.
off
Figure
now.
so.
I'm showing
Well,
off.
I've heard that.
And I can
actually.
show the pictures to show to prove it.
I've
But
heard
no,
that, though.
but I admire Sherry. You know why? I had two girls. Hey, by the way, Sherry used to come and visit, but another friend used to come and visit the guy who used to sing, Laurelia.
Okay.
Laurelia used to come by my house, close to my house, to see some, but Sherry used to be with this girl. And I said, Laurelia, listen, I want to get to a girl to dance in limbo, man. I want to start dancing again. He said, man, I got two girls over there, I can send her over there. And they came over, Sharon and this other girl, and I said, okay, I sat in my pose. And from the time Sharon approached this thing, I know, is she? She could be a limbo dancer.
Remember we
happened.
trained events on Saturday night before?
Listen, she just, listen, it was, you know, it got some people born to do things.
Yes, you were born to do it.
It's just that the right people just got hold of them and bring them in.
Exactly.
And then it just flourished.
So
I was like
Cheryl,
her, the angel.
tell me,
Road.
give me some background on your story as you know, as a, I guess, the first female limbo dancer
Yeah.
in Barbados.
Well, I
Pretty much.
started.
Well, not.
Well, one of the
She
first. One of the
well,
first.
no, that could have been bars.
That band bar.
That band bar.
Because the rest of it was just dancing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I teach her how to bend a bar.
Okay, so tell me about that journey.
Well, it was natural for me, so I didn't really feel no pain, really, because
Okay.
as I say, the Wednesday I went by him, and the Saturday night, me and Bert was performing along with his son and the same girl, but then it ended with just me and him bending the bars.
Yes.
You understand? So,
Fantastic.
and
It was for her.
yeah, I taught myself, well, Bert showed me the concepts, the bars coming down.
Technique.
But the
Technique.
very last bar, I found something was a bit wrong with it. You understand? The way how they used to approach, 'cause they used to sit and go under the last bar. And I find that after a while, people's knees used to get, feel it in the knees, I think, because, you know, so I changed that, right? Not change the format of limbo, but change that, right? And I try to add a Bajan flair, because then you sit dance in some big pants and you know the things. So I just make my little spandex things and little hot pants and thing and perform.
Hot pants.
You understand? So I actually changed the dress, the concept of dress of limbo, the costume.
Awesome.
Right, right. I have those long puffs where you're going on the fire, they're liable to get burned
Right.
or something like that. I actually changed that. But in limbo, the limbo dancers that come along after, if you try to teach them the correct way, they feel that you're know all.
I was actually going to ask, was a comparison of wages, the rates from back in the day up to now.
I would like to see entertainers more respected.
And when you say respected, can you break down? Because sometimes I think the perception of respect is neither here or there, unfortunately, on the island. So if you could be more specific in what you mean when you say respected.
Respected from a salary scale, from the salary point of view, that's one. The approach, you know, that I shouldn't got to come to a hotel 3 times to get one set of money. You know, that to me that's, and when they call the hotel about my check, there's an attitude. You know, I don't like that.
Right.
You know, because it makes me feel small, and the attitude is coming from somebody that working at the hotel too, that know the problem they're going through. You got to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. You know, like
Right.
this man depending upon this money to feed the children or something like that there, you know.
Right.
Don't hope the man, because man's call back next week or call back, you know, and don't get a good answer or don't see a number up on the thing and don't answer you. You know, that's
We laughing because we all know this is very
this
true.
is bad,
This is very
man.
true.
It's bad. you
Very
know.
bad practices as it
Right,
relates
but you know,
to
treat,
respect.
we need
and
respect. That
yeah.
is respect. When you respect, this is Charlie Austin name from right there. You know my number, cause you know you know my number, cause you call in there every week. You understand me? My respect, man, make me feel like somebody. At least, Charlie, the check is not ready yet. Could you call back in an hour? You know, Charlie Austin, they can hear in the background here again. You understand what I mean? That gonna hurt me.
Right,
I don't know how
right.
to do it, but it's hurt me.
Right.
And so I don't call at all. That's why you say I try to do something else on the site to get a little money. So I won't go call them. When the check ready, call me, man.
Like I mentioned earlier, if you look at the kind of money they pay now and compare it to what they used to pay 30 years ago, I mean, the cost of living gone up 5-10 times as much. You know, a soft drink was 25 cents when it was carrying home $100 a night. Now some people don't even carry $100 a night, and a soft drink is $3.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
how can entertainers survive on this pittance? I mean, how you rationalize 30 years ago a hotel, same overheads, right? Same overheads, same utilities to pay, same staff to pay. Could you run shows at these some hotels twice a week? I mean, major shows, limbo, fire, ball dancing, the whole works. Bands every single night. And at the time, I said 20 years ago, we would have been getting $800 a night and up.
Correct.
And now hotels now, if you're lucky and you get $600 from a hotel a night,
If
you
you're
get
lucky.
a lot if you're lucky. And entertainers, some people can't get $100 a night. I mean, think about the cost of living. I mean, when you look at the difference, it is, I mean, ridiculous. It's a tragedy, really. You know? But we press on. Be entertainers, the show must go on.
There was a hotel down the coast, myself, Birdie Jack, and Rose, which is a dancer from out of St. Lucia, beautiful girl who danced with my group, the Dimple group. And we were performing at this hotel. And before we go to perform, right, there was no way for us to change. We had to go to the bathroom. We used to go in the bathroom and change. You listen to what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
We used to change in the bathroom with people, and men used to be coming in there and going up halfway, men drunk to and going up, but that's where we used to change. There was no room for you to change in and stuff like that. But we did it because with the job we do, we had to do it and stuff like that.
And Pan, let me insert here a little bit because you're a man of many talents, and you're speaking now in your capacity as a limbo dancer, as a dancer, right?
Yeah.
So you and your dancers used to go to the bathroom to change in your costumes.
Most hotels.
And we were trying to form a union from 1968. The same year the Supremes were here. If you can come together and don't be like us and form a union, some sort of union, because we were trying to do it from 1968. The same year the Supremes were here, and they had the right in town. It was playing actually free, a place upstairs, a place called Birdland, which was the #1 record club. Remember that club, Classias? Yeah. And we were actually giving this free, so we can have funds in the box to form a union. And from then till now, 1968 till now, I can't see the unity. So if the younger ones can get together, unity is strength. And they can get together and form a unity between them. You know, where you know if the hotel want me or they want Cassius, the price could be actually on the same par. So we won't undercut one another and we won't got the cut short that we went through.
Right.
You understand? We need that, and that is what we need. Without that, we're going nowhere, and we keep declining all the time. Less pay all the time. You understand? Because they know how they can manipulate us and do that. Cheapest call around. And over there, I remember a fella call all around here, all around, to see who the cheapest he could get. He ain't do the quality of the music. The cheapest he can get. You understand me? Over there is not here.
Right.
You understand what I mean? So that thing, all that needs to stop.
Right.
You understand me?
Yes,
It needs to stop.
absolutely.
Unless we going nowhere.
The union is very important to me because I know the advantages of being in a union, you know, having lived abroad. So, I mean, I've been hearing stories from Michael, I would have heard you, I would have heard Panta, Desmond, in my conversations with Desmond as well, conversations with you on the phone, talking about how you guys have tried so many years to get this unit together. I want you to tell me some of the reasons that you think it never transpired, that it could never move from one point to the next.
It's cutthroat. People not keeping to the promises. I remember a year, I don't know if you remember, Lisa, a year, this is not in the hotels now, a year in 1986. I used to sing Calypso too, you know. I sang that year, I sang a song called Tribute to Ogul Seal. She's Mother Bim. And that year, you know, everybody, I didn't get to the semifinals at the first thing, but as I was told, you were always in the semifinals. But I didn't have the name yet, you know, because my name was, I did before first year I sang. And then plastic bag and some of the guys drop out. And they called 5 people. And I was one, you know, and I can remember the person who was in charge of the NCF at that time coming down to Discovery Bay and tell me he's trying to sign this contract, Charlie. Sign this contract, you on the semifinals. Get hold of Kinky Star, look. He in it too. And all we went there. And we had agreed in the part that we were not going because after the fellas out, we out too. So at that time they paid about $1,500 for semifinals. I said, well, they out. You know, I'm going. As a matter of principle, I'm going. And then they see one of the fellas, the DCs now, you know, said, ring me and tell me, Charlie, boy, you aren't going? But go along, get that money, come along, man. You know, I going there. People start to phone me up and tell me that I'm going. So they met one agreement.
Yeah.
And the thing, so I said, well, look, $1,500 in there is what we'll give it there. You know, if them going, I'll be on his body out to see that won't be going. You know, so that's what make me go. So they agree to one thing in the part, and then behind your back change.
So you say the bottom line is cutthroat.
Cutthroat. The bottom line is cutthroat.
Right.
You gotta stand up. You understand me? For your rights. You got to stand up. You don't, you know, money is essential. I agree. But sometimes you got to cut your eye. So there are these things if you want to be strong. Because unity, as I said in the past, unity is strength. And if you let money, you know, lead you where, you can never be, you never be in unity.
When you form a union in Barbados, because I was in about 9 unions in Barbados, right? And let me give you a scenario. One night, we said the important night for the hotels is that bands don't play at the hotels all year's night. And we agreed that no band is going to play for the hotels all year's night. And everybody said, yes, we're not going to play. And all year's night, some of us decided to drive around. We drove around the hotels to see if any of the union members playing. And don't you know, about 2/3 of the hotels had a live music. And you know what fellas said? Man, I looking for money. I had to take. So you got to be serious about a union, because I was the president of a union at the time. And what I wanted to do is to get the entertainers union affiliated with C2SAB, because in my opinion, that is the only way we can have power. Because if you join a union and you just go into the hotels and say you want $10, hotel say no, somebody can come and do it for $8. If you go in the hotel fire you, another entertainer is going to come and do it. So your union don't mean anything here. But when you affiliate yourself with the Barbados Workers Union or any union, C2SAB, what happens is that if you have a problem, it will elevate to the hotel workers coming off, because you will be part of the union.
Well, let's conclude with any advice for like new and upcoming talent. What advice would you give to the new upcoming talent that looking to continue what you all have started, what we started? Because I'm like young in the game, but I look up to you men. So for what you've started, what would you say to the younger generation?
Mobilize all the young people like them that like entertainment. Get some of the old fellas that are around, like Desmond and myself and some that left here earlier, and form a union.
Yeah.
And in this union, They can ask me questions because I've been out there long. I've been in union in Canada. I've been in union in New York. I live in New York 15 years. I've been a party 602. And I understand the importance of having a union for artists, because for intelligent people like Barbadian people, who most of them go to school, to me I find it very difficult that they can't come together and form a union. And we got millions of people in the States who's part of their union. So something wrong here, psychologically something wrong. But we need a union, and the union then will be able to, once we get the union happening, we'll be able to construct the way we want to go forward in terms of pay, where we could change it, we'll be changing, and we will implement all these things and then send these things to the hotels, this information to all the hotels, Prime Minister, Minister of Tourism, everybody. We send the information out for what we, the artists, expect to happen from after COVID, right? And let them know. Once we do these things, you'll start to see some respect happening, because then they will realize that, these fellas gone intellectual now. Then, because we will have a rate for 6-piece bar, a rate for 3-piece bar, a rate for 1-piece bar. So once we have rates and they know the rates, if they call me and as a one-man band, right, and it's 500, and the call they go up pay 5 too, right, because that would be the rate. And it's in America and Canada have rates, and that's what we need.
Okay.
You need to let the government know that we are not looking for handouts. We just want assistance to help us develop our craft so that Barbados will get higher on the map. Because I saw a limbo dancer, since the best limbo dancer in the world, and her standards to me ain't as good as some of the other limbo dancers I see here in Barbados. She bend well, but her back is dragging upon the ground, her behind is dragging upon the ground, her head is dragging upon the ground, and yet she is the world's best. You understand? So if the government was to do more for us here in Barbados, promote us, not just when you have promotions to do overseas, you carry a one-man band or 12 delegates that ain't doing nothing for the tourism part of Barbados when it comes to entertainment. Pick the best entertainers.
Yes, I hear you.
So I would advise them to get your craft together, learn the business of entertainment, because the business is very important. And you see, what actually happened is that the same conversations I hear from the time I started music, the same conversations up to today. Oh, the hotel's doing this, the hotels ain't giving this, it. That is the only thing. But if we come together and learn the business, and we come together and be serious, the generation that coming will be a force to be reckoned with.